Honestly, I think a lot of black women, and I'll speak for myself, and I'm working through not feeling like this. Mm-hmm. If I'm walking down the street and I see a black man with a white woman, there's a weakness in him. Ooh. Something in him is weak.
Sign language.
On the other side, I think when I see a black woman with a white man.
What do you think?
Despite all the historical context that we know that sits behind that, I think she must have got she's tired. Like she must have got so fed up that she's getting to rest now.
Oh, shit, she's getting to rest now. I simply cannot believe the video that we're about to go over here today, and it almost feels like I gotta get ready for war, you heard? Like I gotta get ready to do battle against evil. I cannot believe that Revolt, of all networks, to be honest, I don't know if I expect any better from them. Nevertheless, Revolt just uploaded a piece of content which is echo chamber mixed with misinformation to the malinformation power. And it's truly astounding that they think that they can get away with this, or maybe they're doing this rage bait shit so that we can talk about and react to it. I don't know. Nevertheless, they uploaded a piece of content. Title of their content: Why do black athletes always date white women? Preference, proximity, and power, the people's brief. And it was a conversation with three people, and they went back and forth and kind of talked about these different things. And it is absolutely horrendous and terrible. You'll see that up in here. The video itself got over 130,000 views with only 800 likes. I looked at that and I said to myself, oh, they probably got ratioed to hell. You can't see it right here, but I'll put that ratio right somewhere up on the screen somewhere. Almost 5,000 dislikes. But what we have here is people just given a microphone, but yet a platform to spread their disinformation. So that's why I got to come along and dispel the bullshit. And it's reason that I do that because at its best, this is embarrassing, but at its worst, this is literally destructive to the image of men. Without further ado. By the way, guys, I'm gonna try my best to let the thoughts play out for long term, but there's so much here that we have to talk about. Link to the full video without my commentary down in the description box down below, as what it always is. Let's get active.
Absolutely. I'm so excited to sit here with you two specifically to have this conversation, because this conversation can go in so many ways. So before we get started, just like give me a lay of the land. I guess, maybe not what's your introduction, but what's your experience with the conversation about black athletes ending up with white women or black men who prefer white women at large?
I would honestly say mine is frustration.
Okay.
Because I think the conversation needs to go in a different direction.
Okay.
I think we're lacking the communicative skills to be able to even have a conversation that's edifying, that gets us to the other side of being frustrated. It is something that's a real thing, and I can acknowledge that. Yeah. But even as a black woman, a former athlete that went to a PWI, a single black woman, you know, I have my feelings. Like, I love black men. I prefer them as well. So it's almost like sometimes I feel like, man, they got another one of them. But at the same time, it's like, you know, love is love, and there's so much, this is a convoluted issue. So for me, I'm just excited to dive in it with you guys, and hopefully people that watch will understand, like, it's not just as black and white, no pun intended, as it may come across.
And before we get to talking about more about preference and I guess what we find appealing or attractive, I want to speak a little bit to what you said about these people don't really understand me and I don't understand them. I think for me specifically, when I think about my choice and who I want to end up with, I want to be with somebody I don't got to explain nothing.
Yeah,
I
need my plight understood.
And unfortunately,
for sure.
Plight.
No offense, Deontay, I'm going to have to explain certain things to a man.
That's
it's something you're not going to get, boo. But a white one, for me.
First off, I think it's disgusting. Black men positioning themselves as a victim of a plight of something. It's weak-ass behavior, and it's demonstrated within this conversation, because notice he talks about plight of, and then the woman is distancing herself from whatever this plight was because she's saying, well, my plight as being black as well as a woman. These men that lead with this victim mentality, this plight shit, this oh, woe is me, these type of men would never be leaders of any type of community, instead commune within a woman's victimhood. Nevertheless, starting off a conversation within why black athletes date white women, you're already starting at a losing component of the conversation. Why does that matter? The fact that some of these black women can't get outside of their lust for material goods and money and look towards the average earning man and instead idolize as a groupie these men that are up on TV and shit like that is already starting from a losing position. How about you talk about the average earning men, who, by the way, 85% of them have a black wife. It is a damn lie that most black men are married to white women, but if you were to ask them, survey them, I bet you they'd say something that's like 85% of black men that are dating white women. But let's proceed.
Me? Absolutely not.
Yeah, because it's two factors now. It's like, also too, it's like, I remember I was talking to this white girl one time, because she had like red hair. I thought that was like, I was like, whoa. Like, you feel me? Like, this is crazy, you feel me? But it's like,
What?
I had brought her to my neighborhood, and like, the way we was talking and communicating, she was like, what does this mean? What does it mean? I was like, this is getting annoying. Like, I'm not trying to translate. Just kick, like, shut up. For real. You know what I'm saying? But, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I'm thinking, but this how you think, because it's like, you watch this, and it's like, yo, Shawty got red hair. Like, you see what I'm doing out here? Like,
what is he talking about?
The translation part, it was just like, oh, I really don't get these people. And then when I went to her house, it was like, how are you? It's like, what you wasn't expecting me? But nah, they wasn't expecting me. So it's like, oh yeah, these dynamics is
And now
off.
your safety.
Yeah,
is something that's on
I
your
feel
mind.
like
There we go.
too uncomfortable to the point where it's like, yeah, go up and go in the room. And it's like, go in the room.
No, I ain't going no room.
One room is
Yeah, I was like,
What if they acted like that because of that goddamn giant-ass man bun on the top of your head? Again, with the oh, woe is me victimhood shit, you can only accumulate their reaction to your presence as being the color of your skin, huh? What about that dumbass hairstyle that you have at the top of your head? That would make anybody be like, what the hell is on the top of this? What in the Super Saiyan man bun is happening on top of this poor young man's head? By the way, I find it more funny listening to his comments while wearing Stone Cold Steve Austin on his shirt.
man, you know, my dad, he really gonna trip. I'm gonna go and get up out of here because I don't feel comfortable over here.
Okay.
So it's like, but you remember stuff like that. Even, and as a boy, it's like, when they daddy be looking at you weird, it's like, let me get up out of here. If I had to call my dad. You feel me?
We don't want your daddy to show
Oh,
up.
God.
He added nothing of
What about
value.
you, Sheree?
This is a tough one, guys, because Lene, I'm with you on that.
Okay.
As a black woman, I really don't believe wholeheartedly that any man other than a black man can truly connect with me in the way that you
Connect is the
described.
word.
Right.
Fine.
On the other side of that, I have to also own the fact that there are frustrations that I have with a sect of black men in this generation when it comes to partnering, when it comes to potentially being a husband or even a viable boyfriend. That has now put me in a position where, even though I really don't want to be open to dating men outside my race, I don't want to do it. Let me be
we're
very
gonna get
clear.
there.
It's not what I want.
It makes sense.
there.
But it's something that at almost 39 years old, still desiring a family in that life, I may have to be open to.
Yeah.
So I haven't had any experiences necessarily with being in the proximity that you mentioned with white males when it comes to dating. Now I will say, growing up, my cousin used to always, tease me that I would end up with a white man, and it would make me so mad. It would really upset me. Like, why would you say that? Like, am I not good enough to be with a black man? But that, outside of that comment, no.
We don't have an issue with what you like.
Right? We don't. I don't.
One of our issues, particularly for straight black women, is that there's not a lot of y'all to choose from.
Right. I almost ran up.
I
out of
hate
here.
to say it, and I hope it don't sound
I almost
ridiculous,
ran out
but
of
the
here.
numbers quite literally don't lie.
Right.
And then the way
No, you're
things
lying.
are also set up, black women being one of the most educated groups, it is difficult for us to find counterparts.
Right.
And the counterparts we do have, they got their pick of the litter.
Yes, they do.
And now we already have to compete with one another in a way that is, unfortunately, it makes it difficult to be community oriented when we,
Yes.
because of scarcity mindset. But then when we see you turning the other way and you do it because, and your answer is always because, and I'm not talking about everybody, but for those
Right.
of you who say your answer is because you dislike this, that, and the other about
Right.
black women,
Right.
it just opens up the whole conversation about beauty standards and privilege, and even you mentioned the white hair, these things that feel exotic. Have you had any personal experiences in either way? Because I mean, you're attracted to women, and you being a woman yourself, where you felt like that has influenced your choices, or you could see its influence on the choices of people around you.
Stop the track. First of all, I've had a video posted on this channel from like 6 or so years ago that talked about this black woman being the most educated, and it's just simply not true. Now, while heavily enrolled into undergraduate institutions and more heavily enrolled than black men when it comes to professional degrees, post-secondary degrees, white women, Asian men, just to name a few, are whooping y'all asses. Now, I will say, I'm not just saying this in order to like tear you down, but I'm saying this for the sake of accuracy, because they utilize this talking point as to say, well, black men are not caught up to where we are, so because of which there's not a lot of options. The first thing is utilizing college, undergraduate institutions in order to dictate what is educated versus not is ridiculous. Because when it comes to money, Hank over there, who's, let's say, a journeyman plumber, he can be making a lot more money than a woman that has a gender studies, a history, or a criminal justice degree. But let's just take it out of all of that for a quick second. Within the United States, the population gender difference between black men and black women is like 51 to 49%. It's pretty much even. But we know that only 25% of black women will achieve marriage. So are you saying that there's 75% less available male options than women? And if so, where did they go? And they typically try to say, well, they're either incarcerated or they're homosexual, all 75% of them. Or they might say that, well, he's got a bunch of kids. Well, 50% of black men in America have no children. Or can it be accumulated to this certain fixation on certain types of black men? Ergo, a conversation about why do black athletes date white women? Having this discussion and ignoring the average black men that are existing within society today, many of which just go completely ignored, is absolutely abhorrent.
You know what? Yes to the aesthetic piece.
Okay.
But I will even go a step further. For me, it goes like to an attitude or perceived attitude piece.
Okay.
Even most recently. Shaq, hey Shaq, I love you, but hey. So I did, no, I love Shaq, but he's part of my story.
Okay.
So I was doing a segment on the Shade Room, and I was smiling but very much confident in what I was saying, talking like I'm talking to you all. And Shaq is watching, it's like a live stream on YouTube, and he's like, she's so pretty, but she's so mean. Aww. And I was like, Shaq, I'm not mean. Why would you say that? And I think there's something about black women who are confident and solid in who they are that sometimes can be perceived as we're angry or we have an attitude or we're boisterous when we simply just believe in what we're saying. And we naturally emote differently than other races of women anyway.
I didn't see the clip specifically, so I can't talk directly about it. What I will say is that be hyper independent, argumentative, a boss bee, right? Displaying those type of characteristics, while in many races of women is looked down upon, but that is literally the opposite within the black community. Oftentimes, these images or pictures of women fighting, and these images or these famous people or the music gets pushed in such a way that many women walk around with a chip on their shoulders, even if they have not felt directly some type of negative component or interaction with a man. So for any lovely young lady out there that's listening to this, if someone is describing you with those behaviors and characteristics, just understand you take that out into the dating marketplace. Men don't like aggressive, mean type of behaviors. They might deal with you from a get butt perspective, but when it comes to taking you seriously, they're looking for more cooperation. Quick emergency meeting. I was recently searching for my name online and found way too much personal information, which brought me down this weird rabbit hole of how that could have happened, and found out that there's companies out there called data brokers that will sell your data to marketers, scammers, and even stalkers. And it's a nasty, disgusting feeling knowing that there's bad actors out there selling my information, selling your information for profit. But that's why I'm recommending today's sponsor, Aura. Now, I use Aura to automatically remove my information from these sites and keep my information off. But they do other things as well, such as bank fraud and identity theft alerts, VPN access. But guys, utilize my link down in the description box down below for a 14-day trial. At least see if you've been compromised. Privacy is king in this day and age, and you should know if your information is out there. So again, utilize my link, aura.com/MTR, in the description box down below to try 2 weeks free That's way more than enough time to see if your personal data has been exposed. Go now.
So for me, it's been more of that. I'm taller, so I kind of have a presence about me with that. The aesthetic piece, I haven't gotten to that point yet, to be honest with you. I haven't gotten to that point of insecurity yet because I'm still dealing with what I just talked to you about.
You don't need to get there. It's
You know
not
what I'm saying?
like
I
that. You
don't,
have to.
and I don't want to get there, but
Yeah.
I do think sometimes just the confidence,
Yeah.
the assertiveness, it can be a little
You're not wrong.
off-putting.
Intimidating.
Yeah. So I think that's the intimidation piece is what
And
I've
I've
dealt
even
with
heard
more
that,
than
and I'm gonna let you answer, but I've even heard that specifically in the whole like comparison piece, white women being softer
Yes.
or more malleable or amicable or amenable to particularly black men leading, but also to my point earlier, it's not a whole lot of y'all left. And in the y'all that's left,
It's not.
how many y'all that can
Help us.
lead?
I don't know
It's
what
even
it
by
do.
a smaller margin. But anyway, go.
Listen, I talk all day about the impact of a generation of men that have been overmothered and underfathered. And for that, I say the government's plans worked. They set out a system that targeted families with the removal of the man out the household, whether that's through getting government assistance and a man cannot be available in a household to receive assistance, or unfair laws in the criminal justice system, 3 strikes, what have you. But when the black woman accepted the government into their household in lieu of a man, in lieu of a father, that's when this shit really started to go awry. So although they talk about men being able to lead, she's complaining about an outcome where mothers made a decision to shape the environment. Post-Jim Crow era, prior to the civil rights movement, there was not an issue with the rate of black men and black women getting married. But the recognition that black power stems from the black family became enemy number one. Let's keep going.
Well, I just think, I'm listening to what you're saying, and it's like, all these attributes that black women have that people want to kind of rein in.
Defend us,
if
brother.
you was Latina, sexy. So it's like, that get hard too.
No.
And also too, it's like, we get,
What are you
we
talking about?
curate our feeds on social media to our interests. So my interest, I want to see what black folks on. So I don't know what other communities doing what they talk about, but I know when it comes to men talking about women, the only people I see publicly degraded all the time, no matter what, is black women. So it's like I said, I was hyper aware of this young though, because I'm light skinned, both my sisters brown skin, dark skin. So I would just see how people would approach us like, oh my God, you got such nice hair, and and then look at my sister and be like, and I'm like, hold on, cuz, like, what's up? So I always been hyper aware because of the differences between me and my sisters in appearance. But I also never liked that I never liked that stuff. You know what I'm saying? But because it's like, they look like my mama. So like, I don't understand what the problem is.
Yeah.
But the louder people get when it comes to black women about like, you too loud, you too to do. And then when you compare it to other women, it just seemed like they were a little bit more contained and controlled. But like I said, when you start talking about Spanish women, then that attitude is sexy. Oh, yo, I had a Spanish girl, she was finna stab me, it was hot, like, woo, woo, woo. That's crazy.
He's absolutely just making shit up out of thin air in order to pander to the feelings and emotions that sit within this room and that I guess the network wants to hear out of black men. No, crazy is crazy is crazy. Race has nothing to do with crazy. Men should not ever select crazy. They should always select peace. What's crazy is that he's acknowledging a behavior issue. But he's just saying that, well, if it's Latina, then it's fine. Which is just not true. So you're acknowledging that there's a behavior issue. You refuse to point a damn finger at it, and then you refuse to defend men while being a man. This is so crazy to me. Is this what it looks like to sell out, or is he so deeply convinced of his bullshit genjutsu that he refuses to understand? And again, as I said earlier, majority of black men are marrying black women. By the way, if you compare that number to the amount of black women that are marrying outside of their race, it's only 10% less than black men. But these brothers and brothers like him operate from this willful ignorance, and I think that they are legitimately enemies to men, for they will simp, for they will white knight, they will never point a finger at the things that men are saying or will try to trivialize the experience.
It's crazy,
Wow.
right?
Wow.
But like, seeing grown men act like that, I'm like, hey, brother, what we doing? Because it's like, I ain't saying you can't have other preferences. I'm saying I'm a Panthers fan, And if you ask me why I'm a Panthers fan, I ain't gonna say because I hate the Falcons.
Yes.
So it don't make sense.
All right, so I want to move on to the other side of the debate because sometimes when I see this conversation or this discourse happening on the internet, you get, but it's okay when a black woman does it, when she dates outside her race, and you were just speaking to that a little bit.
Yes.
I've been on these dating apps myself. It's hard out here for us.
That's why I got off.
And there is a prevalence of white men on them apps.
Yes.
And it's not really my thing, but it also just makes it difficult for me to have more options for my dating pool. But for you guys, like, what do you think is the difference between when it's happening amongst black women versus when it's happening amongst black men?
We don't have a lot to choose from. And then we talk about preference, right? So if I'm a black woman who desires to date a man who has a certain faith that he practices that's in line with mine, that makes a certain amount of money,
Now you'll go there.
that has maybe a certain limit with how many children he already has,
Now you're asking for too much.
This is so
that
bad.
may have never been married before, and I'm older.
Yeah.
Damn.
So we down under the floor by the time we actually vet through every, and this is not, again, I'm not talking about people, women that are super stringent and have all these high, like over the top standards.
No, they're
just
just real.
basic things, right?
Yeah, sometimes it's not high or over the top.
if
The bar just being
That's
held.
what I'm saying. So we're doing this off just basic fundamental things that we would like. A man who's into his career. Some of them still trying to figure it out.
The attitude is...
No shade, but again, if you're established, if you're high achieving, and that would go for a
Here we
man.
go.
Like depending, if you may have a standard where, hey, I want to date a woman who has a passion, it's something she's really passionate about, and she's career driven. She can still be a great mom, but she has something for herself. You wouldn't date a woman that necessarily doesn't have anything going for herself.
That's real.
So when the statistics already show, it's not a lot of y'all around, not a lot of good solid guys around, not a lot of guys that care about themselves enough to go to a therapist or to read a book or to go to the gym or to eat a salad.
Across dating apps like Tinder, Bumble, black men actually perform very well. Across dating apps for women, black women, they don't perform as well. By the way, let me say this. I don't care who y'all date, right? I think it's survival of the fittest out here. Go where you are appreciated. But if you want to date within your race, then those numbers kind of don't matter. But I think it's important to acknowledge that while black men have seemingly more options when it comes to like a global worldly scale, black women have less options if they were to try to date outside of their race. So taking all of the numbers that I talked about previously, and if you're still saying, where did all the good men go, as you actively ignore most of the men anyway, while belittling and disrespecting those very same men, ma'am, then it perfectly demonstrates why y'all end single. Keep on adding all these requirements as y'all gain education. It's fine. Do whatever what it is that you want, but you may not get the end results that you want. But many of y'all are running these men off, not only because of your attitudes, but also your expectations of them are guided by the fantasy media that says you can have it all. Then if you refuse to redress your behavior as well as your requirements, then get a dog. Because ain't no man gonna sign up for that shit.
Again, we're under the couch. And so that's part of it. It's a numbers game. You all have more choices. It just is what it is.
I think also too though, like, even if I am on the same like economic status as you, my options is different. I might want to go play that field for real. Like, it's like I don't work that hard. If you ain't got nobody that stayed down with you to your success, and even sometimes, even when you do stay down, like my options change up. I want to go explore them options because we always think it's something better going on. But I think too, my mentality about this is always like, whatever. Like, the whole conversation is like, do what you want to do, as long as it's not like, well, I'm dating white men because I hate
don't like
black men. Like, I'm cool. But then also too, it's just like, in like a case like Serena Williams. Serena Williams, like, the only thing I ever really heard black men compliment her about was her ass. You feel me? Everything else is like she manly, she this and that. But she go get with the white dude. Now the white dude look crazy. He look crazy. You know what I'm saying? But he is a billionaire.
You
like,
saw the swimming
hey,
trunk picture, didn't you?
I did. Shout out to look translucent.
I
You hear
didn't
me?
see the swimming trunk picture.
He look translucent. It's crazy.
Oh, don't say that.
It's a stark contrast.
Okay.
What, he like invested in this or something? No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
Yeah.
But nah, I'm just saying.
Again, you'll imagine a majority white network laughing and joking about how black a man is that a white woman is dating. That's effectively what's happening right here. But these men will continue to talk about the plight that they currently exist in.
It's like, but you can't go, but then it's like, well, he do got $1 billion. And men respect money, you feel me? So it's like, well, she do got $1 billion. But you can use that as an example too. But I think also, my kind of like point of view is, if you go to college, you in your career, you doing your thing, the type of people you around too, it lessens like the black man that you might want. That field do get shorter and shorter because of war on drugs. Like, we was funneled into prison, y'all was left out here, and y'all figured it out. Like, my mama struggled working regular jobs.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go the corporate route, and I'm gonna go do the corporate takeover, and that's what y'all did. That's just real. The stats is there.
But I mean, I feel like I'm trying to get an answer out of y'all that I haven't gotten yet.
Okay, come on.
When we're walking down the street and we see a black man holding hands with a white woman, we have a very particular experience.
Yes.
But when we be walking down the street, we might see a black woman with a white man. We might not have that same energy. And where is that setting?
I ain't gonna hold you. Sometimes the white boys be pulling some bad. I'm talking about bad. I be like, hey.
They do.
My boy.
And once the black wife effect take over, it'd be like, okay,
Yeah.
they match.
Hey.
Honestly, I think a lot of black women, and I'll speak for myself, and I'm working through not feeling like this. If I'm walking down the street and I see a black man with a white woman, there's a weakness in him.
Ooh.
Something in him is weak.
Sign language.
I want to preface this by saying, because I don't think we had an opportunity to say it as much. Love is love.
Love is love.
And
love is love.
as was
Amen.
evidenced in our BEG draft, we just fell in love and she just happened to be white. Sometimes this happens,
No, that's real.
but sometimes it don't. And I just want to contextualize her statement
Yes.
by saying that.
And I appreciate you doing that, because I believe the same. On the other side, I think when I see a black woman with a white man,
What do you think?
despite all the historical context that we know that sits behind that, I think, oh, she must have got she's tired. Like, she must have got so fed up that she's getting to rest now.
Oh, shit! She's getting the rest now. Oh, these goddamn... Yo, this is crazy. So, mind you, this is the young woman who says, Shaq, what do you mean I'm so aggressive? Like, he's weak. That's her estimation of seeing a black man with a white woman. Weak. Pathetic. Oh, this shit is goddamn deep. They can't even avoid the sign language. It's just, they would just so proudly admit this up on public platforms that they will try to shame you to limit your options. But then if you flip that and it was a black woman, it's, oh, she got too tired of dealing with black men. These women, now, meanwhile, she's single as hell, 39 years old. She's damn near my same age, complaining about the same men that she oh so desires. The psychopathy of the behavior goes deep, baby.
Again, why would that be the interpretation?
Yeah.
Because as I mentioned earlier, for me, I don't want to date outside my race.
Yeah.
But it may be my only option at a certain point, so I have to be open to the only. I think there are some black women, not all, because like you said, love is love. But there may be some black women, and they say it on social media. Girl, I tried it. Venus tried it. No, excuse me, not Venus. Serena tried it. Serena dated several black, high-profile black men before she finally turned the corner. So I think we need to also understand and talk about those black women
She's a
who have been
divester.
making the effort.
Yeah.
And it's just not panning out. And so they have to say, you know what? I'm gonna be open to love, like for real,
Yeah.
on a grander scale than what I think that I want for myself.
So the whole point of us having this conversation, for me, and I said it at the top of the episode, I'm quite sick of the gender wars. There's far too much going on that is affecting our community for us to be sparring back and forth about really anything, and this is a complete waste of time. It is a waste of time to be having the conversation in the way that we do online, but also there is merit to the complaints black women make about the disparity, the numbers that don't line up for us, on top of these ideas about preference and choice that lean into all of these beauty politics and how from the beginning of time here in America, black women were pushed to the bottom in terms of desirability. But the point of it all, the point of us having this discussion is to hopefully bring us to the table to have a friendly conversation discussing the importance of loving on one another, period.
Shut up. These women will talk about, I don't want to have a gender war. I don't understand the reason for it. Why are men speaking this way? You literally just had a woman say that a black man dating a white woman, she sees him as pathetic, or weak rather, was her words. While also proclaiming that a black woman who does the same is just tired and you didn't say anything about that. You didn't check her within that. And this man just sat over here and just ate that shit too. You claim that you're tired of it, yet offer platforms for it, for the hateful versions of us to project their trauma of failed past relationship after failed past relationship. And for some reason, they think that switching races, but not switching the behavior, is going to get them in a better position. Newsflash, the black community is matriarchal. Your best chances are with black men. You're not gonna go over to another type of community that expects better behavior and have better options. That's why all of the divesting channels, they always have like this how to be feminine component to it, because they understand how far that some of these women are behind. You can't just make the switch over to Brad and not switch the behavior, baby girl. They not tolerating that bullshit.
The fact that we have to compete and fight each other for love romantically is a product of white supremacy. We are doing exactly what they want us to do. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, it hurts me to see us pick up their tools and beat each other with it.
Black media, I'm disappointed because we perpetuate those narratives. We repost. We allow the arguing in the comments. We do all of that. That's us doing that.
Yeah.
I'm tired of this.
We have all these other opportunities to showcase black love.
Okay, I'm tired of this. Yo, what in the irony? What in the hypocrisy is happening right here? You tired of the repost, but you literally just had a clippable moment of complete and utter hate and bullshit. Get this shit off of my screen. Anyway, listen, guys, the core issue is, I think a lot of times they bring it down to race, income, education, when I say, and I've always said, it is about behavior and as well as attitude. You had an opportunity to have a fantastic conversation. Number one, you frame it in the idea of black athletes always dating white women. That's not true. Even the focus on black athletes as if they're representation of black men, it's false as well. But when you get down to the nuts and the bolts of it, even after being accused of being aggressive by Shaq, and you listen to the way that you describe it through your sign language, that they're weak for doing so, just understand that the way that you think of things, there have been many men in your past to pick up on all of these things because your mindset will blur into how it is that you conduct your life and how it is that you conduct with a man or the expectations that you have from a man. So inevitably, I say to you, and as well as to the many others that watch this content, hold up a mirror to your face, whether it be about the selection, right? Who it is that you're deciding on, or the behaviors that you are demonstrating within that relationship that will allow him to retain or not. Those things must be properly assessed before you just get mad at men exercising their options, because there's a reason that they're exercising their options beyond you. If you're looking at the numbers, and I know that there's all this talk of male loneliness epidemic and like all this stuff, which I think a component of that is a real thing. But it's clear to me that many men are choosing to stay single than to deal with bad behavior. They're choosing peace over some of these relationships, or they're going abroad. Shout out to the passport bros. Or some of them, very small percentage of them, are marrying outside of their race. And no amount of shaming will bring them back if their environment remains hostile. All right, guys, this conversation has gone on way longer than I thought it was going to go, but I just had to get my words off real quick. You know what I mean? So, guys, drop me your comments, questions, concerns down up into the comment box down below. Hopefully, you've made it this far with me within the conversation and that you have thoroughly enjoyed this conversation and discussion here today. I'll see you guys soon. Until next time, YouTube. Peace.
She belongs to the street.
Girl, don't hold my hand. You a mattress actress on the OnlyFans. Get your money, girl, but damn, how is that your only plan? What you gonna do when you get too old to strip and dance? Get up out your echo chamber screaming period and yes. You a low down dirty woman if you try to get knocked up